Buckle up, guys, because today I have a grab bag of work-from-home jobs. They're not all customer service, definitely not all call center. We have remote jobs processing documents, medical records, and claims, some entry-level healthcare and finance jobs, and a lot of these jobs are very beginner-friendly. And we have some hiring in California, New York, and other states that are hard to find remote jobs. So we're going to quickly scroll through these jobs so you can get your application in ASAP. We have a lot to get through, so let's get right into them. So the first one I'm sharing is with the company CityBlock. So they're a healthcare company that primarily supports the underserved community. So this job is for a telecommunicator. It's full-time remote anywhere within the United States, no location restrictions. And in this job, you're going to do quite a bit of phone work. You'll assess reasons for callers' inbound communication while meeting and managing callers' emotional state. You'll gather and transcribe key information necessary for the coordination of services, guiding callers through intake and triage processes. And all they want from you is a few months in a health contact center position and a high school diploma or a GED. And they tell us they'll pay you anywhere from $17.79 up to $23.08 per hour. So our next opportunity is with the company Empower. This job is for a Premier Service Associate. It's full-time remote anywhere within the United States. So they tell us your schedule will vary by time zone. Candidates must be available to work the following Monday through Friday schedule for their location. So if you live in the Eastern time zone, you'll work from 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Central time zone, you'll work from 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you live in the Mountain time zone, you'll work from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And they tell us this role has an expected start date of September 8th, 2026. So in this job, you'll support existing Empower clients with all aspects of their investment needs. You'll respond to operational inquiries regarding trading, asset movement, account opening, and asset consolidation, and you'll handle client trading of equity, EFT, mutual fund options, and fixed income securities. So for this job, they do want you to have a bachelor's degree and a couple years financial customer service experience. You have knowledge of current financial markets and retirement account operations, and you're familiar with FINRA. I'm not sure if it's FINRA or FINRA, Series 6 and Series 63 within corporate established timelines, and they prefer you're fully licensed. And you're also familiar with FINRA fingerprinting. Now, I'm not sure if I even talked about this correctly. I'm not familiar with FINRA, FINRA, Series 6 and Series 63, but if you are, you definitely know what I'm talking about. So when applying for this job, what will make you stand out are really good communication skills, strong technology skills, and you're able to multitask across systems. You have past brokerage and mutual fund trading experience, and you also have retail, IRA, and or 401k customer service experience. And those things are not required, but if you do meet them, you'll definitely stand out. And when it comes to the salary at the bottom of the job description, they tell us they'll pay you anywhere from $45,700 up to $62,875 per year. So next up, we have a health records compliance analyst work-from-home job with the company Vituity. This job is fully remote anywhere within the United States. They do tell us that this job is remote nationwide. So in this job, you'll ensure compliance with timelines and guidelines related to record requests, subpoenas, court orders, and other requests for information received in the department via U.S. mail and electronic database according to company policy and state or federal guidelines. So when a request is submitted for medical records, it'll be your responsibility to make sure those medical records are submitted appropriately. You'll obtain, review, and analyze records for completeness, identifying discrepancies or incomplete work, and collaborate with business partners to correct deficiencies or escalate to supervisor as needed. And you'll also complete quality assurance validation of completed record and requirements prior to release of health records. So they have more information as far as what you're going to do on a regular basis. If interested, read through all the details. So for this job, you'd be a good fit if, for one, you have a high school diploma or a GED, and second of all, you have a couple years health information management, medical records, records management, medical billing, or coding experience. You have knowledge of HIPAA compliance laws, and you can type at least 35 words per minute. You're proficient using Microsoft Office 365 products, and previous experience in a medical office, records department, billing, or coding department, or hospital setting is preferred. And when it comes to the salary, at the bottom of the job description, down here, they tell us they'll pay you anywhere from $19.63 up to $24.04 per hour. So next up is a company called LifeMD. They have an opening for a licensing and credentialing specialist. This is a full-time remote position for all of you who live in New York. So what you're going to do in this position is be responsible for assisting with all aspects of the licensing and credentialing process. You'll ensure efficient working operations with a heavy focus on licensing and credentialing of LifeMD providers to maximize revenue and enhance patient satisfaction. So that means you'll obtain necessary licensure and or privileges for LifeMD providers, create, maintain, and update provider licensing rosters, and perform external research and conduct verification of all LifeMD licensure, malpractice, and educational degrees, diplomas, and certifications. So that's the gist of what you're going to do in this position. I have more details. If interested, read through the details. So if you have credentialing certification, a bachelor's degree in business administration, healthcare administration, or equivalent experience, and a couple years experience performing credentialing and administrative services, you have a strong understanding of credentialing, licensing, and payer enrollment functions and processes, as well as knowledge of healthcare regulations and compliance requirements, you'd be a really good fit for this opportunity. And they have some preferred qualifications. They're just preferred, not required. They include certifications, excellent analytical skills, creative problem-solving abilities, and you're organized. I recommend reading through these preferred qualifications. If you meet any of them, make sure to include them on your resume. And they tell us on this job description they'll pay you anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000 per year. Imagine Pediatrics is looking for a patient engagement associate to work full-time remotely anywhere within the United States. And you'll be working either Central or Eastern time zone hours. So you can work either 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And you don't have to live in the Central or Eastern time zones. Just translate your local hours to these hours. So in this job, you'll be responsible for telephonic outreach to prospective members, which consist of parents, family members, and caregivers, and help them get enrolled and set up with Imagine's app-based technology. And all they want from you is a high school diploma or equivalent and about 1 year experience working in an outreach, customer service, or call center environment where an outbound communication role was primarily performed. And for this job, they do want you to be bilingual in Spanish. Sorry guys, I should have mentioned that up front, but if you are bilingual, check out this job. And they tell us they'll pay you anywhere from $20 to $22 per hour. So moving on, Coral Health has an opening for a denials management coordinator. This job is full-time remote anywhere within the United States, no location restrictions. So what you're going to do is perform denial research and follow-up work with insurance companies via phone to resolve appeals that have been submitted but remain without determination. You'll compile multiple documents into appeal bundles and submit appeal bundles to payers in a timely manner, determine and document appeal timeframes, transcribe information from clients' EMRs and payer portals, check all completed work for accuracy, monitor and complete tasks within shared inboxes and internal request dashboards, receive and document incoming emails, calls, tickets, and voicemails, follow up with clients or internal staff via email or phones for additional information as requested, export and upload documents within Coral Health proprietary system, and I'm willing to bet they'll train you on their proprietary system, and you'll be cross-trained on various functions within the department to support other teams as needed. So if you can type at least 25 words per minute, you have no problem talking on the phone, you're comfortable using computers, and you're familiar with Microsoft Excel, check out this job. Now they do want you to be able to have strict adherence to HIPAA and high-tech compliance. You need a high school diploma or equivalent. A bachelor's degree is preferred. It's just preferred. It's not required. You have an understanding of denials processes for Medicare, Medicaid, and commercial and managed care product lines. And they prefer, but they don't require. They prefer you have prior experience accessing hospital EMRs and payer portals. So as far as the salary, I'm just scrolling around to see if they share that anywhere on the job description, and nope, I don't see it. But based on my experience looking at similar roles, I have a feeling this job could pay anywhere from about, I'm going to say 18 to 20, maybe up to $21 per hour. But I can't guarantee that salary. You'll have to work it out with them. Okay, so here's a document processing work from home job. It comes to us from Corona Health. So they have an opening for a document specialist level 1, and this position does span the weekends. You'll work Friday through Monday. So that's 4 days a week. I'm assuming 10 hours per day. So what you're going to do in this job is process about 280 documents per day. You'll receive, sort, and organize those documents, verifying accuracy and completeness, and ensuring documents are distributed and archived according to company policies and procedures. You'll communicate effectively with internal teams to resolve any discrepancies or issues related to incoming documents while maintaining confidentiality and security of sensitive information. So if you have a high school diploma or equivalent, proven experience as a document specialist, document controller, or in a similar role, you can use document management software tools. This job has your name on it. And they tell us it's a plus, but it's not required you have experience in administration or relevant field. And I'm just going to scroll around to see if they tell us how much this job pays. And no, I don't see it anywhere on this job description, but based on my experience looking at similar roles, I have a feeling this job could pay anywhere from $16 to $18 per hour, but you'll have to work out your salary with them. Nabby Health has an opening for a billing, credentialing, and back office operations coordinator. This job is full-time, remote, anywhere within the United States, no location restrictions. So what you're going to do in this job is support revenue cycle operations, provider onboarding, and administrative workflows that enable clinicians to deliver high-quality care at scale. They tell us this role is ideal for someone who is detail-oriented, systems-driven, and excited to help build operational processes in a growing, mission-driven healthcare startup. So you'll do some billing and revenue cycle management, credentialing and provider enrollment, back office and administrative operations, as well as compliance and communication. So if you have a little bit of healthcare administration experience, prior experience with medical billing, insurance claims, denials, or RCM workflows, and you're comfortable with EMRs, billing software, spreadsheets, and Google Workspace, check out this job. And they have some preferred qualifications. They're just preferred, not required, but read through them. If you meet any of them, make sure to include them on your resume. And then, of course, you need all your typical soft skills you need for just about every job. And as far as the salary, they don't share that anywhere on the job description. Let's take a quick peek at the application, and nope, I don't see the salary anywhere on the application either. But they do tell us, given that they're a startup, this is not a typical 9 to 5, and there may be less work-life balance than a traditional role. Are you okay with longer hours? So being that they're asking this question, that tells me they do expect you to work more hours than the typical 9 to 5. So if you answer yes, you'll definitely stand out. But as far as the salary, because they're not sharing that anywhere, based on my experience looking at similar roles, I have a feeling this job will pay around $21 to $22 per hour, but I can't guarantee that. You'll have to work out your salary with them. Alrighty, so BetterHelp has an opening for a credentialing specialist. This job is full-time, remote, anywhere within the United States. I did not see any location restrictions anywhere on this job description. So this job is more leadership in nature, where you'll train the team on tasks that the associates are responsible for completing each day. And as new processes and systems are adopted by the organization, you'll be responsible for researching how the team will interact with them and then support implementation. You'll also document all knowledge of the BetterHelp insurance credentialing workflows, and then train the team to improve those processes, and work with the credentialing team lead to monitor the performance of the associate team and provide feedback to the team and the company's contractor partner, which is TEKsystems. So you'll supervise and train the credentialing associate team, document all BetterHelp insurance credentialing processes, provide day-to-day guidance, training, and support to the team, and identify and problem-solve inefficiencies in credentialing and re-credentialing processes. So if you have about 1 year experience in healthcare credentialing operations or administrative support in a payer-to-provider setting, you have a strong understanding of NCQA re-credentialing requirements and best practices, you're proficient using Microsoft Office and Google products, you're really organized and a good communicator, and you have experience in behavioral health or mental health provider credentialing, check out this job. Because they tell us on this job description, they'll pay you anywhere from $30 to $37 per hour. So here's a senior accounting billing specialist position with the company Inspira Financial. So this job is full-time, it is remote. They have a location of Oak Brook, Illinois, but we're going to ignore that because they do tell us they are hiring remotely in one of these 19 states you see on your screen right now. So fingers crossed, hopefully you live in one of these states. And if you live within a 90-minute radius of the company's Oak Brook, Illinois headquarters, you're required to adhere to the company in-office work guidelines of 4 days per month minimum from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. One of the 4 days must be a Monday or a Friday. So what you're going to do in this job is process and review billing transactions, execute invoices, and ensure contract-based billing accuracy within the accounting framework. So you'll prepare and process daily, monthly, quarterly, and annual invoices, review and audit invoices prior to client release to ensure accuracy, interpret client contracts and fee schedules for correct billing setup, and set up new clients in the accounting system for billing. And they have more accounting-related responsibilities. If interested, read through the details. So if you have a bachelor's degree in accounting, finance, or a related field, and at least 5 years experience in billing, accounting, or related financial operations, check out this job. They do want you to have advanced proficiency in Microsoft Excel. All your typical soft skills and experience with Sage Intacct is preferred. That's just preferred, it's not required. And as far as your schedule, it looks like you'll work Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time Zone hours. And occasional travel of up to 5% may be required, including the ability to use personal transportation for trainings or meetings. So you need to be okay with that. And they tell us on this job description they'll pay you anywhere from $23 to $25 per hour. So the company RTM is a marketing and research firm that's been around since, I believe, 2012. They have an opening for an accounts payable specialist. So this job is full-time. It is remote. They have several locations listed at the top of the job description, but we're going to ignore that because they tell us this job is remote in California, Florida, Texas, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Ohio, Indiana, South Carolina, and Massachusetts. And they also tell us this job was originally posted April 2026. It's still on their careers page, so we can only assume it's still available. And if you live in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, this is a hybrid role, 2 days in the office. So this job is everything accounts payable. You'll manage the full cycle accounts payable process, including invoice review, coding, and timely payment processing. If you're familiar with accounts payable, you know exactly what that means. And they have more details. If interested, read through the details. So if you have a bachelor's degree in accounting, finance, or a related role, you have some experience in AP or similar accounting or bookkeeping roles, you're familiar with GAAP and awareness of tax laws and regulatory compliance, you're proficient using accounting software, and you're skilled in Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, and other productivity tools, check out this job. And when it comes to the salary, at the bottom of the job description, they tell us they'll pay you $60,000 per year. The company Osmind has an opening for a credentialing coordinator. This job is full-time remote anywhere within the United States, no location restrictions. So what you're going to do is support the day-to-day execution of the company's provider credentialing operation for the Osmind Care Network. So that means you'll support the end-to-end credentialing pipeline for OCN providers, coordinating day-to-day with the third-party credentialing vendor. You'll track application status across payers and providers and flag delays and at-risk timelines to the appropriate internal stakeholders. You'll follow up on missing or incomplete provider information and help identify when group credentialing is the right approach and assist with coordinating those submissions. So that's the bulk of what you're going to do in this position. They'd like you to have a couple years experience in healthcare payer credentialing or provider enrollment, and you're familiar with core credentialing concepts. It's a plus but not required. It's a plus you have experience working in a multi-provider or multi-site environment. It's also a plus you have experience with psychiatric, behavioral health, or specialty practices, and it's a plus but not required you have healthcare technology or startup experience. And when it comes to the salary, they tell us they'll pay you anywhere from $52,000 to $65,000 per year. Vituity has an opening for an accounts receivable analyst level 2. It's full-time remote nationwide, anywhere within the United States, no location restrictions. So this job is all about accounts receivable, where you'll process accounting receivables and incoming payments in compliance with financial policies and procedures, perform day-to-day financial transactions, including verifying, classifying, computing, posting, and recording accounts receivable data and bank deposits. So if you're familiar with accounts receivable, you know what this job entails. So if you have a few years experience in AR or collections, a bachelor's degree in accounting, finance, or relevant experience, you have good math aptitude, you can multitask, you're familiar with Microsoft Office, QuickBooks, and NetSuite, you can utilize Excel pivot tables, formulas, and charts, and you have experience with multi-entry and high-volume collections, this job is a good opportunity for you. And as far as the salary on this job description, it looks like they'll pay you anywhere from $31.24 up to $39.05 per hour. The company Phil is looking for a patient support specialist to work full-time remotely in one of these states you see on your screen right now. So if your state is listed, you're definitely good to apply for this position. So these states do include California, I see Colorado, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Washington, among many others. So this is a customer service job where you'll resolve issues in a timely manner. You'll be expected to be capable of reviewing and understanding the status of an order quickly to educate the patient in response to their inquiry. So you'll assist patients with any questions they have via Zendesk ticketing queue as well as over the phone. So if you have a little bit of customer support experience, call center experience is preferred, and about 1 year experience in healthcare, preferably in enrollments or insurance, you're comfortable using phones, you're capable of quickly searching knowledge bases to locate answers, this might be a really good job for you. And when it comes to your schedule, it looks like the company is open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time Zone hours Monday through Friday, and 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Time Zone hours on Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays. So your schedule will be somewhere within those hours. Overtime may be available and will occasionally be required, and holiday work may be required if there aren't enough volunteers to cover the shift. And as far as the salary, I'm scrolling back up. Yep, on the left, they tell us they'll pay you anywhere from $20 to $21 per hour, potential for quarterly bonus. So the last work from home job I have is not all about customer service. You will be dealing with customers, but this job is mainly claims processing. So the company Inspira Financial has an opening for a claims specialist. This job is full-time remote. They have a location of Oak Brook, Illinois, but you don't have to live there because they are hiring remotely in one of these 19 states you see on your screen right now. So fingers crossed, hopefully you live in one of these states. So what you're going to do is process accurate claim data to ensure members receive correct reimbursements, providing excellent customer service to every member, while utilizing available tools and resources to make informed decisions while processing claims. So all they want is a high school diploma or a GED or a college degree. They're not requiring a college degree. And of course, you need your typical soft skills and you're comfortable using computers. Now they tell us they prefer, but they don't require. They prefer you have claims experience. And on this job description at the bottom, they tell us they'll pay you anywhere from $17 to $20 per hour. So there you go. We just went over a huge selection, a nice grab bag of work from home jobs. Hopefully your job is in this collection. And if not, check out this video right here for more easy work from home jobs. Thank you so much for visiting. I truly appreciate your support, and I'll meet you on the next job lead.